Hello everyone, welcome to another Bluehat SEO video. In this video, we will explain a specific SEO case study that relies on the Topical Authority and the Semantic SEO mainly. And again, in this video, as in other Bluehat SEO video series, we will be giving you three main suggestions in an understandable and quick way. I must tell that there are lots of other things that you should be knowing about these specific case studies, but the Bluehat SEO videos are mainly for, let's say, popularizing the advanced concepts bit by bit. And this case study here, it has started like around 9 months ago, or maybe even 10 months ago. I'm not sure about the exact timing, and I have mentioned this website name in the interview that I have done with the authority hackers at the same time. So the specific case study here is in English language, and it is inside the, let's say, the fitness industry. And the latest quality updates, and also all the broad core algorithm update, at least until now, it affected the website in a really good and a positive way. From time to time, you can see that actually the source loses traffic, but overall it continues to increase its authority too. So the first suggestion that I will be giving in this area is, please try to use your brand power. The search engines, they don't want to rank websites. They want to rank real businesses. In this case, before moving further, let me show you some certain type of comparisons so that you can see the growth. This is a 3 months comparison, and this is a 6 months comparison, and I will suggest you to focus on the impression increase first rather than actually the click increase. And let's check the years over year difference too quickly. Yeah, you can realize that nearly 6 times more impressions, and I don't know, click count is like more than 4 times, maybe even 5 times. It has been increased. Together also the average position has been increased, and there is no heavy or let's say active backlink campaign has been used in this specific project. It is purely branding and also the semantics. When it comes to the branding, the search demand for your brand matters a lot. If you're able to make your brand a search term, if people are using your brand name together with some certain type of other topics, and in this case, let's say some certain diets, personal trainers, gyms, gym opening cost, or finding a personal trainer, or learning certain type of martial arts, you should be finding some certain brandable content for yourself while creating a community around you. If a user comes first with the organic search click, then if they come to your website with a direct click, or let's say directly writing your name to the address bar, and if they also search your name directly on the Google, it shows that actually you are quality, and they are able to follow these users to understand which website is more authoritative. So probably I will be hiding the website name, but this is one of the reasons that this website actually ranks higher than the others. So the first suggestion is that please brand your brand with the topics at the same time. I will demonstrate these 3 quick things. Reputation scoring of an author. This is a very old design, but Krishna Bharat here, he is very important, and he appears together with Paul Har a few times. More than a few times actually. Very complicated design, but basically the purpose here is determining a certain type of reputation and trustworthiness for an author for a certain topic. We see that the same thing also happens in the Google Quality Rater guidelines. Reputation research should be performed according to the topic of the page, they say. They also state that a website might be really reputative, or they might have the reputation for a topic, let's say the health, but it doesn't mean that it also has reputation for financial information. So basically you will need to create an author profile for yourself. And when we say that, author doesn't have to be a human. Your brand can be the author. And you need to stay that specific vertical by making yourself a certain searched expert as much as possible. And your expertise and, let's say, the trust signals, they might be changing from topic to topic. And this is Ramanathan Guha. He is very important. In this one, they are actually trying to annotate or use certain type of labels for certain type of search results. There are 2 connected designs here. In this one, for instance, as stated in the Google Quality Rater guidelines too, they are trying to understand a certain type of topic and vertical for a website or the author. Then they try to label these things. The labels in this area, they might be reflecting the overall quality of the specific article, such as professional review. And we actually use a digital camera sample together with Gail too in that interview. But basically, according to your review, they can actually annotate your specific review as the professional review, as many of the Google Quality Raters actually do, which means that Google also tries to do this in an automatic way. It also means that they are comparing the human quality raters results or choices to their algorithmic choices, and they try to close the gap. And Ramanathan didn't stop there. He created another one, search results ranking based on trust. They do the same thing. First step is labeling results. The second step is actually assigning a certain type of trust rank or rank signal, or let's say the trust signal, to the certain labels. And in this part too, let's say a specific review, whether affiliate review, whether a normal travel review, etc. In this case, they try to understand whether it is coming from a real, let's say, a real author or not, or a certain type of expert or not. And from blogs to the news outlets or to the many other vertical knowledge sites are actually being affected from these specific sections. It also means that actually, if you have a certain type of expertise on a certain type of topic, or let's say the similar queries, even if the topics are slightly different, in this case you will be getting a certain type of trust, because in here too they give certain examples like forum size, rating size, community size, and based on the type of the source they assign different labels and different trust signals to these sources as well. But being a vertical knowledge site is one of the important things in this area. So the first suggestion for this Bluehat SEO video, for this specific SEO case study, is that please increase your brand search demand. If no one is searching for your name, probably you are not an expert on that topic, or maybe it is just an AI generated garbage website, or just a content farm, as we stated before. And after you create a certain type of, let's say, search demand for yourself, please try to understand that specific topic or specific topic that you are staying on, all these pages will need to be connected to the same context and the same topic, while increasing your overall expertise with certain type of labels. And in this area, you should understand what kinds of labels can be used for these articles and how you can increase the trust signals on your website from the search engine's point of view. In this one, of course, we have used consistent publishing, and a little bit technical SEO has been used too, but this project wasn't active on the technical side that much. The third suggestion is that try to understand how the search engines actually parse your content. In that interview, I mentioned these tools, and I also mentioned that using visualization techniques for beginners are really important, because most concepts that I am using for search engine optimization or advanced SEO is a little bit abstract. But let's say text raiser, it can actually make many things more visual. But the important thing here is that even if you change a few things in these sentences, the overall relevance, context, categories, and topics and their scores might be changing. These micro or small changes are called microsemantics, a concept that I found to explain how we can use these things for increasing overall relevance and confidence of the search engine. And when I create a topical map and semantic content network, I use this type of micro and macro semantics to increase overall rankings in the long run. To show you these small differences, you can realize that in between this sentence and between this sentence, there are a few differences, small differences. For instance, here we say that instead of using actual terms like Southeast Europe, Western Asia, North Africa, between these and these centuries, here we tell that actually which ruled in Africa, Asia, Europe, lived over 6 centuries between these and these other centuries in this case, and we give a type of the entity. But you can realize that in this area, the word Turkish and empire, they are two different entities. When it comes to this one, it is a single named entity, which means that based on the simple and small differences, the entities that have been actually recognized by the search engine, they might be changing as well. If you come over this, you will see that, and just yesterday during my coaching session with my private community, I also mentioned them that based on the Google's own designs, confidence and relevance are not same. The confidence is about how confident the system is that we are talking about the same entity as they are guessing, and relevance is the relevance of the entity. So first one is resolution of the entity. With a confidence, the relevance is for understanding the relevance of this to the specific or the main topic of this specific passage. And in this area, we see that the Turkish Empire, which means Ottoman Empire, and at the same time here, they try to also normalize the entity, and they assign these type of scores and the types of these entities. But the thing is that based on these simple changes, we see that other scores that we have, they will be changing as well, and the specific topics or specific, let's say, the categorizations also will be changing. For instance, when it comes to the topics, we see that Turkey, Europe, Asia, Western Asia, or Ottoman Empire, these are the main topics. When we come to these areas, we see that Ottoman Turks, Ottoman Empire, Middle Ages, politics of Ottoman Empire, Osman I, Europe, Middle East, Muslim empires, they are inside the specific topic. Of course, it is also happening because we also have these specific, let's say, the extra passages in this area. But if I compare this, which is just simple, this sentence and this one, let's say, still you can see that actually certain parts are different. For instance, when it comes to this area, you can realize that, first of all, of course, the entities are different from each other, but the categories that has been chosen here, it starts with the linguistics, and in a connected way, the second category has to be also related to that, which is language, and the third one is, again, the culture, entertainment, and again, the culture, and the society actually comes here, which means, according to your beginning part, the search engine or search engines or any kinds of NLP system, they will try to understand what possibly you are talking about here. And as you see here, I didn't mention the word actual Balkans. I didn't mention the word, I don't know, let's say Arab, language of Turkey, language of Kosovo, or language of Bulgaria, or Ottoman Turkish, cultural geography, or Oghuz Turks. Oghuz Turks are basically the founder of the Ottoman Empire or Seljuk Empire, as a tribe name basically, like Kazakh or Kyrgyz. And basically, I didn't even mention it. And usually, when it comes to the macro and the micro semantics, creating a topical map, designing a semantic content network is reading the mind of the search engine. Even if you don't tell something in your sentence, or your paragraph, or a passage, or your entire website, still the search engine knows that you are actually related to these specific other topics and the entities at the same time. And you can realize that these specific scores might be changing from a passage to another. And when it comes to creating a topical map, in my Topical Authority course, I explain it in a really detailed way and by creating a framework. But at the same time, just because a system says that Oghuz Turks are relevant to this specific area, it doesn't mean that just go and open a page. It is about your purpose. When it comes to this specific project, for instance, since we try to actually increase the income, we go for certain topics, but we cover others in a supporting way as well. In this case, you will need to be deciding what your website is doing, and according to that, you will need to be organizing all these subtopics, entities, and connected contexts for them. If you open a page for Oghuz Turks, you might need to open pages for other types of Turkic tribes as well. And if your specific topic is basically about linguistics and the languages, in this case, you will need to actually gather all these tribes together in the context of the Turkic language dialects. So according to your context, all the topical map will need to be changing. But just know that every sentence that you are writing, they will be augmented. And you might be telling a search engine things that you didn't write clearly. Even if you didn't write it, search engine from the knowledge base, they will be extracting these and they will try to understand how these things can be merged together and how they can be connected to the queries and users behind the queries. So it requires to read the mind of the user, search engines, query-raters, and inventors and designers at the same time, but you don't need to deal with all these things. In this system and in this specific case study too, whenever we have a certain type of article, the first purpose is always having a certain main prominent entity, which we call main entity. For that page, there is also another entity, which is central entity, and it will be appearing in entire network. So one main entity for a page and one central entity for a website, and they will always need to be connected to each other together, and you will need to be distributing these things according to the context of your website. So my people, I believe I will be opening the gates of the Topical Authority course maybe 2, maybe 3 months later. I can't promise certainly because I will need to be going to the Bulgaria for a CERC conference. Then I will be in Hungary for the SEO Vibes. Then I will be coming to the Chiang Mai SEO and organizing a meetup there. And I have private webinars, coaching sessions, and lots of clients, teammates. I am also doing research. I am also writing lots of researches, as you see in this area too. Over a year I am writing this and still I couldn't finish it. So we have lots of things to do, and love you all. I hope this video will be helpful for everyone. See you later.